Give me coffee in the morning, gotta have the caffeine. Wake me up, shake me up, dip me back and messy. One sip, two sips, and I'm feeling so alive. Coffee in the morning, it's the best way to survive. Woke up in the morning, sleepy eyes yawning. Jumped out of bed, started the day, opened the curtains. Felt the cool breeze, the sun shining on my face. But something was missing, I needed my job to chase. Give me coffee in the morning, give me coffee in the morning, gotta have the caffeine. Wake me up, shake me up, dip me back and messy. One sip, two sips, and I'm feeling so alive. Coffee in the morning, it's the best way to survive.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in, Butterfly. Welcome in, Lindsay, Teresia. Good to see you guys this morning. A little bit earlier start than usual because we're not going to be here all day. We're just going to be here for a little while this morning. And then we're going to take the day off. And Joe Schmoe is going to go live here in a little while. But I wanted to come on and talk about a couple little things this morning and get them out of the way. So, having my coffee. Y'all welcome in, get comfy. Hope y'all had a good night. I did. Once I went to sleep, I slept hard. So I think I needed it. Got caught up a little bit. Good morning, Kel. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Today they were going to hold that hearing in Latah County, and that's been postponed. They were going to hold the hearing pertaining to the filing that Madison Mogen's mother did, or her attorney did on her behalf, to put an injunction against any more evidence coming out at the moment, right? So we have that injunction to take a look at, as well as another person's little legal matters that he thinks people care about. We're going to look at that too. But yeah, so anyway, they did reschedule that hearing. It was supposed to be this morning at 10 a.m. Latah County, but would have been 2 hours behind me, I think. But anyway, they're going to reschedule that for the 28th, I guess, to give attorneys time to respond to the motion for the hearing and to figure out what they're going to do over there. I honestly don't know how it's going to work out for them, considering the law. They go and review some of that and see if it does, because there's already safeguards in place, right, for what does come out. So if it already pertains to those, they're just going to put those safeguards on that stuff and release it. So it's that fine line when you go messing with what's releasable and what isn't because of our feelings, right? I don't want a judge to go in there rule based on feelings, because it will affect other cases going forward. And sometimes you need to see the stuff. Sometimes you don't. But we can't run around picking and choosing. Hey, Sirius, welcome on in. Welcome on in. I don't know if Joe's awake this morning. He's supposed to join me if he's awake. We will see. We're going to get into it anyway. Good morning, Joy. Welcome in, everybody. You guys get on in here. I didn't see any, I didn't look hard, guys, but I didn't see any news pop up about that little missing baby. I don't hold hopes that they're going to. I did see they've still reporting finding clothing in a dumpster. I don't know if it's pertaining to that little baby or not. They didn't even release that information yet. But I'm not holding out hope that there'll be a good outcome. Do you know what I mean? From the little bit that I've seen of that train wreck situation, I don't know what's happening over there. Oh, which reminds me, Butterfly, I did stumble across the live feed late last night. Well, it wasn't late. It wasn't terribly late. I don't even know what, I'm not going to pretend to know what time it was because I don't usually look. But a streamer we're both familiar with was out there live from yeah, from the front of the home, I guess it was, where the fire and all that took place. I was like, oh no, oh Lord, here we go. But I didn't see anything relevant to talk about. Do you know what I mean? So we won't go there. Good morning, Witchy. Welcome in. Welcome in. Jet Set. Welcome in, guys. Y'all get on in here. Grab your coffee, your tea, whatever your morning vice might be. Hell, you might be just into orange juice. That's cool too. How come my 19-year-old brain thinks orange juice? I'm like, where's the vodka? my my old brain is like, what are you talking about? The vodka. Honestly, it's super refreshing on the beach in the evenings when you're strolling. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, you saw the pics, but not the live. Oh, yeah, there's protesting in front of the parents' home. I don't even think that mother was there. According to reports yesterday the 10 minutes I watched of it, like the mother to the little Emmanuel's mom had already left the home or whatever. I guess maybe gone to family or friends, and the only one left in that house was the dad, the Jake guy. They're trying to smoke him out. Oh goodness. It's hard to believe parents like that when the crazy comes out about them, right? And it's hard for me to sit here and go, well, she didn't. They did it themselves, and then I don't know. I know they're sketchy. I know there's not a good story there. I know that much. Poor child. Kel, we always have a way of accidentally aging ourselves, but if you're like me, you don't care, right? Peach, ooh, you know what? One of my old roommate, God rest her soul, I loved her, but she was hooked on Lipton peach tea, right? And she would make iced tea. But when she made the tea, I could smell the house would just fill up with this peach smell. And for some reason, it was extremely overwhelming to me. I couldn't take it. I'd have to go outside and sit under the tree and let the fresh air hit me. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, your tea is about to kill me. And she's like, are you serious? I just could not do peach. I don't know why. And it's crazy because I like a good cold peach or a peach cobbler, but I don't want it in my tea. Isn't that weird? I like lemon or blackberry in my tea. Ooh, there is a pomegranate I tried that I did like. So maybe I'm being a little judgmental, but I just don't. The smell did it for me. And sometimes those old pregnancy smells come back to haunt you. You're like, that's why I hate that from 30 years ago. Messed me up when I was pregnant. Heck no, not doing that again. I get PTSD from that, I think. Some of them things just, you're like, give it to me, I'll eat it all. And some things you're like, oh, hell no, not happening. Not even on a good day. Mm. Right, Kel? We grew our brains finally. we're we're no longer dumbasses. I love that analogy. Perfect way to put it. People are like when I joke about let me have my old lady phase, they're like, well, you're not old. I'm like, I know that, but I want to pretend I am because then I'm a whole lot wiser, right? I mean, in general, I guess we are old, but it's just a number. All right, all you philosophical people, it is just a number. All right, let's pull up. I will have it loaded for you guys to see on screen. We'll take a look first at, we'll get to the serious stuff in a second because this first stuff, he thinks it's so serious, but we don't. Well, I mean, it can be, because I didn't approve of prison guards wearing Odinist patches, running around filming Rick Allen willy nilly and doing Lord knows what else. Brian Koberger's situation ain't the situation, right? He's over there locked up good to go in a little state prison and max security. But he's complaining. Y'all heard about all that? Did y'all see what he did? Did y'all see his final or formal complaints were released to the public through a FOIA request? Well, we got them. We're going to take a look at what he's complaining about. Actually, let me do this first because where'd it go? Let me just slap that up there just in case. Oh, look, I didn't change my colors, and we don't do blue. We are not, we do yellow there. And it's going low, like 90 to nothing. We can't even read it. Slow down. Okay. Now let me get the formal part up there. You guys make sure, let me know if you can see it. I'm going to read it from my phone because it's easier for me. But you guys can see that. Welcome in, Forrest. Thank you for being here. All right. And remember, part of his criminology studies, Koberger's here, is to know about prisons and prison reform and prison programs and all the things that would happen in prison. It's a whole ass study about it. Okay, he comes in hot the minute he gets there, and he's going to start complaining and writing official letters. So is it here we go Koberger situation? We're going to fight the system. We're going to fight the man for the rest of your life behind the bars. Okay. So this is a brief summary of incident and action taken. The type of incident, sexual harassment. Individuals offended, or the individuals involved or an offender, Brian Koberger. And then it lists the staff names. Okay, so brief summary of incident and action. On August 3rd, 2025, resident Koberger with the IDOC number 63163-214. On Twitter now, that's all they refer to him as, is 214. Submitted a concern from stating he has been subject to threats and harassments, recently escalating to overt sexually violent threats and statements. Lieutenant Mallant received the concern form on August 4th of 2025 and conducted an interview with Koberger in J Block. Koberger stated a resident that goes by Peru. Now, y'all, what Peru told him wasn't nice. Peru told him, I will, but fuck you. I'm just reading the words verbatim, people. So that's what Peru told him he would do to him. Koberger also stated an unknown resident from Tier 1 of J Block said, the only ass we'll be eating is Koberger's. Koberger stated that Officer Signoria was present for the comment made by Peru. Due to Officer Signora being on B nights, an interview could not be conducted to attempt to corroborate the allegation. On August 7th, Officer Signoria submitted an information report outlining his involvement in the alleged incident. Officer Signoria recalls vulgar language being used and directed towards Koberger, but could not identify who said what. The allegation is substantiated, but due to no aggressor being able to be positively identified, and Koberger saying he feels safe to remain on Tier 2 in J Block, no further actions were taken. The delay in the 105 submission date and report was due to collecting all the information to ensure proper action could be taken. End of report. Files a formal report right out the gate about what Peru said to him. And then his guard's like, yeah, they were all yelling. So now we know a little bit about what the vent people were saying. All right, so Koberger ended up doing 2 handwritten notes or formal complaints. That one, let me make sure I got them in order. Okay, it looks like this one was this one says date 7/30 on it. Okay, yeah, this was the first one that he did. And Joe's not in here yet if he shows up, but Joe, I knew the second I sent this to Joe last night what his first comment back to me was going to be, and I was right. He's like, "Look at the handwriting." Because he's obsessed with like Lori's irregular handwriting. So we had been talking about that off and on, but now I knew he was going to laugh at Coburgers. What does it mean? Does it mean anything when a college student doesn't have the greatest handwriting? I think it's a guy thing. Is it a guy thing? I don't know. Some people have decent handwriting and some don't. I'm no handwriting expert analysis. Don't analyze my handwriting because it's going to change 50 times in one little paragraph. Sometimes I do it on purpose to trip up these people, just in case in the future. You never know. Like, I literally have thought about it before. You know what? What if one day in the future, when them handwriting analysis comes along and wants to analyze how my Y is made, watch me change it up real quick. Used to sign my mama's name to shit. Come on. Okay, so this one says that Brian Koberger, and he was in the housing unit list, the J block there. Okay, the issues and concerns. He says, as I continue the SPI phase, I wish to discuss if I may be transferred to another AC setting as B block. He wants to go to B block, like he's familiar with all the blocks and which one's the coolest, which one's the safest. Not engaging in any of the recent flooding now slash striking. Flooding is when they flood their cells with their toilets on purpose, as well as being subject to minute by minute verbal threats and harassment on that and other basis. Oh, okay, on that and other basis. Gotcha, Koberger. J block is an environment that I wish to transfer from. I bet you do, buddy. Bet you do. If possible, I can request transfer to B block immediately. I wish to speak with you soon. Okay. Then they replied back, Mr. Koberger, on any tier at IMSI, there are sometimes disruptions to operations such as residence flooding. On J2, it is a relatively rare occurrence, and J2 is generally a fairly calm and quieter tier. I do not think that B block would be any better for you. Give it some time. You need to adjust, sir. You need some Halidol there to calm you down, fella? Hey, hold on. Indiana's got plenty. We'll call them. I may think of FedEx some of that shit. Wow, guys. Can y'all believe he's already filing formal complaints and he wishes to speak to someone soon? He wishes to be transferred immediately. He's being intimidated and threatened. Buddy, the party just begun. This one was filed the following day on the 31st. So I guess things didn't improve overnight. Coffee sip. Okay. Oh, he got a different. Y'all reckon he got the jailhouse pen? You know, the kind they wanted to make Stefan write with in court. I wonder if Koberger's got a jail pen. How long it took to write that with that little flimsy jail pen piece. Or do they sit there while he wrote it to make sure he didn't stab himself in the eye? Koberger, okay, so here's his problem. I have several occasions not oh my God. I forgot about this one that I read last night before I fell asleep. Here we go. I have several occasions not received all items of food on my tray. I addressed this during service and have yet to receive any replacements. In fact, the kitchen is not even called. The police the policy book confirms. Oh fuck, he been reading the policy book. He's like, "Can I have my handbook, please? I have to make sure you're following the rules." And I didn't get my orange, and I want it replaced. The policy book confirms items missing which are pointed out at the time of service will be replaced. I wish to, without exception, receive these items replaced. Without exception. Who's he think he is? Gonna get your breakfast tray and notice that your apple slice is missing. I need to take a note right now. If I don't tell him right now, I won't get it replaced. And he's not getting his food replaced. Well, Xana probably would have loved to enjoy her entire DoorDash uninterrupted that night, and probably would have loved to have gotten a few hours sleep and got up later on Sunday and lived the rest of her life. Probably. But I bet there's some people out there right now writing letters about him didn't get his damn orange. How dare you? How dare you? Policy says he gets his orange replaced. Go talk to Rick Allen about damn police policy in the prison. Shit. If that's if his biggest complaint about prison and guards is vent people yelling vulgarities, and he didn't get an orange, sit down, my guy, sit down. Okay. I have tried to solve, and they give you like this little scenario, you got to fill it out. So I have tried to solve this problem informally by, and he says, addressing the issue with staff at the time of meal service. I suggested the following solution for the problem. And he writes in, I wish for the items to be called for and items replaced when this occurs. The nutritional standard is not being upheld. And oh my God. Rights were just violated. He ain't getting his nutrition. Hell, in my county jail, if you're pregnant, you get an extra carton of milk, to boost your nutrition. Oh, and a pack of crackers, that girl told me. I was like, what's the pregnancy diet? Because she said something about this pregnancy diet. I'm like, what's the pregnancy diet? They give y'all extra food? She's like, well, your crackers and your milk. I'm like, what? I couldn't imagine being pregnant, sitting in jail, having a craving. I'm going to get some crackers and milk. Well, probably shouldn't have went to jail pregnant. But there we are. What do y'all think? Y'all think all that little complaining's warranted? Josh, go grab your coffee, man. Don't forget your snacks. Make sure it's all there. If y'all code, damn it, man. Y'all know how it feels to go to a restaurant and your stuff's not right. You might want it replaced. Does he think he's privileged, right? Food. So not meeting dietary needs, though. Koberger knows how to play the game. Hell, he sat here for 2.5 years helping Ann Taylor pull every string they could, file every legal avenue they could possibly file. He's sitting right there with her, not batting an eye, going, this is turning me on, Ann Taylor. Wow. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. I wonder how many people have done sent him commissary money finding this out. We're not having that. He's got to eat and get his strength to fight his way out of there. Oh, y'all think he'll dig tunnels like El Chapo? All he's got to do is yell through his toilet. They can talk through their toilets, they say. He yells through the toilet, Lori, can you portal me down there? I need to ask you questions on how to live in prison, Lori. Freaking freaks. All right, enough of his ass. We'll wait till the next formal complaints come out and see what he allegedly says is still happening inside of his prison. Um, Remember now, he's under lockdown 23 hours, so he only gets that hour of outdoor time, and they don't let nobody else around him, probably for their safety too. And we know it's for Koberger's safety because there's some big bad dudes in the prison that they wait for entertainment to come. What else they gonna do? They don't get all their damn food on their tray. They complain about that and don't get it replaced. What else they gonna do? Flooding was fun but boring now. I'm gonna yell at this dude through the vent and just make his world rock. It would be fun to torture him. And if we think they're not having fun with him, oh boy. You, look, I'm surprised, Jet, if that commissary's not already got some cash up in it. I didn't go look yet. I have an account made on Koberger's website and stuff on Stearns, so I keep an eye on stuff when I get bored and nosy, like literally nothing to do. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening over here in the prison? Let's go look. Let's go see if we can see what they've been ordering lately, and all the good things. Something we can make fun of. Okay, like I said, guys, we know that Karen Laramie, Maddie's mother, had filed the document, to put the injunction in to halt more evidence from coming out. As bad as I feel for her, and I understand what she's saying, some of the stuff they talk about in this document are too broad, and it's not going to work. But her attorney is well aware of that. I think it's just in the moment we need to figure out what the peaceful moment is, right? And I feel like at some point, I don't know what the answer is for these families or how to tell them to handle this going forward, but maybe step away from the news for a little bit. You know, I will state that I feel like Latah County Prosecutor's Office probably should have sat down all these families involved and said, here's what we're about to release under the law. We have to, but we want you to see it first. And we want to talk to you about what you're going to see. Because we're here for you. That didn't happen. So while we're patting Latah County on the back, well, good job, well done, not so fast. Because it's never been a well job, good. I can't talk about it this morning. It's never been a job well done. Never been. It's been a job full of mishaps. It's been a bad job of handling the publicity. Been a bad job at handling the public in general, right? And they admit it at some points, and then they double down on it in others because they don't know what to say for their mishaps, right? Not that they did it all wrong, they didn't do it all right as far as handling public information, handling what the families were being told and found out, things like that. Sharing good information within the other neighboring county so that we could have found that car a whole month earlier when they found it. We would have known they found it, that kind of thing. All right, let me pull this document up and we'll read it with you guys. And again, I'm very sensitive to what these families are going through. But when you start wanting to take everything away from a court document, you got to take it all away. Especially there's already safeguards in place to redact personal information. So we'll have to just, take it for what it is. And I hope y'all understand the bigger picture and not just in the moment of this picture, right? So comes now the above named plaintiff by and through her attorney of record, Leander James of the law firms James Vernon and Weeks, cause action against the above named defendant complaint. This is the plaintiff alleges. Plaintiff Karen Laramie, also referred to as Karen, is the natural mother of Madison Mogen, who was murdered on November 13th of 2022. Defendant, City of Moscow and Municipal Corporation, found within Latah, Idaho. Okay, this is the second page here. Yeah. Ooh. The disclosure of documents that are subject of this complaint are held by defendants in Latah County, Idaho, and defendant is disclosing said documents from Latah County. The defendant resides in Latah County. This court has jurisdiction to hear this action under Idaho Code. Venue proper in Latah County. And here's the general allegations. On November 13, 2022, Maddie, Kaylee, Gonzalez, Xana, and Ethan were present within the residence of 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho. On the night the victims were stabbed to death by Brian Koberger within the residence. Koberger has admitted to stabbing the 4 victims. Law enforcement, in furtherance of the investigation of the homicide of the victims, took photos of the interior of the residence at 1122 King Road. These images of crime scene includes images related to the bodies of the victims, the murder scenes, the victims' blood, their personal items and effects, and other personal matter. These images include images of the interior of Madison Mogen's residence, images of the murder scenes, including images of pools of blood. As I'm reading this, there's one thing going through my mind, and I know that, and it's part because I'm investigating the crime scene, part because I'm a legal aspect, I know what's right. And when I tell you I don't need to look at the bodies on the bed to know Koberger did it, here's the difference. In Delphi, I needed to see the bodies. One reason. Because it was a staged crime scene. And those photos were purposely hidden and buried and altered and done things to. Why? To make it not look like a staged event after all? Who made the determination that it was or wasn't? Who examined the photos? Was it just some random doctor out of Peru? Was it some behavioral unit analysis guy? Things like that. Some of these things are super important. But did I need to see it to figure out what happened in Delphi? No, because how the hell am I going to figure it out, right? But then again, we have to weigh that balance of what's legally needs to go out there and what doesn't. The images included the images of the interior of Madison's room and the blood splatter, dried blood, images of murder scenes, including images and all the things. So let me go into the last part of it now. And it got pretty broad. Oh wait, did I not load up one whole page? 1, 2, 3, 4. I did. I skipped a page. So you guys won't be able to see this page because I don't think I have it up there. Yeah, that might be it right there. Okay. Images of personal property and items of the victims of the homicide found inside the interior and exterior of the residence, including but not limited to containers of alcohol, underwear, ID cards, and other personal items. Images of witnesses. Here's where we have a problem. Part of it. Images of witnesses, including witnesses hugging each other and sobbing. Now, that can only be one image. The friends that came over that were called when 911 was called. Or, come over, help me check the house out, I'm scared. 911 got called, they all gathered up outside the home, we know that. That's got to be them in that image. Why is that? Is that really... Video and audio media containing sounds of the witnesses, including sounds of sobbing, and video and audio containing statements of witnesses given to law enforcement officials, including statements evidencing their extreme emotions. Now, we need that evidence of their statements. We can't keep it out because they cried. Do I need to hear it, or am I good with reading the written statement, right? That's where the judge is going to have to find the balance in this stuff. You're crossing a dangerous line when you're asking us to keep out witness statements. And I get it, Karen didn't write this, her attorney did. And I'm not throwing shade at him either for being the attorney. I'm just saying. Continuing their investigation, law enforcement documented their investigation by taking photos, recordings, video, and audio relevant witnesses to the case. Some video and audio contained witnesses' statements and at times crying and emotional distress of the witnesses. On August 12th, Leander James, the attorney for the plaintiff, was informed by Mia Batista, the city attorney for Moscow there, that in response to a request for examination of public records pursuant to Idaho Public Records Act, and the city had began releasing images related to that request. As a result of the initial release of photos and images, plaintiff has suffered immediate and irreparable damage or injury, loss and damage in the form of extreme emotional distress, physical manifestations, which I don't doubt, as a result to the actions taken by the defendant in releasing images. The defendant is not really the one releasing the images. Well, the defendant in this case is Moscow, so I guess so. I want to call Kohberger the defendant. Ugh, whatever. May cause the public to disparage or blame the victims of the tragic crime. Ma'am, I apologize that is happening by these fucking fools on the YouTube streets. It's gone on for 3 years and I don't know how to stop it. But keeping these images away won't stop it. Brian Kohberger leading them to the location where the kill kit is buried and digging it up himself on camera is not going to make anybody believe that guy did it. Because hell, they just forced him down there to do that little show, dog and pony show. People shouldn't be blaming these poor victims. There was literally never anything behind any of the bullshit. Some kids drinking and doing some little recreational drugs in college. Go check yourself, adults looking in the mirror. Did you not? Did you not? I could hang with the best of the partiers back then. I probably didn't even sleep. Hell, I know I didn't. I'm a product of the 1980s. Rock on. That's sad that they have to, but the only ones blaming the victims is the YouTube streets, social media. Mainstream media is not really up there doing that. So maybe she is tuned into a little bit of what's going on. Or, the attorneys are probably aware of it. All right, so the Ms. Batista also confirmed that defendant intends to begin releasing video and other media in response to those requests, which will further cause plaintiff immediate and irreparable damage or injury, loss and damage in the form of extreme emotional distress with physical manifestations. And I don't doubt that for a minute. I honestly don't. And I get it. I feel it in my bones. But man, as a result of the possibility of more images, videos, and media being released to the public, plaintiff has suffered irreparable injury and loss and damage in the form of extreme emotional distress and physical manifestations. Defendant's release of this matter is likely to cause the public to disparage or blame the victims of the tragedy or of this crime. Defendant has a duty to abide by Idaho Public Records and not to disclose information that would constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy under Idaho code. That's the law. Is a photo of a pair of shoes on the floor rise to that level? Right? Does a bloody crime scene rise to that level? If there's bank documents scattered around the floor and we could just see all the information, there's your redacted material. It's a hard call, guys, and I don't know what the judge is going to decide. Um, he can't rule outside of the law. They can't go making up a new rule all of a sudden in a new Idaho code. That takes a lot of a legislature behind it. A lot. So there's not really a thing they can do to change the law today or on the 28th, even when they go to court. But it'll be an interesting argument that I'm going to be watching for. It's a tough call, guys, to be in that to be on that line of balance, right? Because I can't pretend one day I uphold the Constitution and 4 days later, never mind, it suits us today not to. I don't roll like that. That's too wishy-washy to me. That's make up your mind, America. That's stand your ground for something. Yeah, well, today I'm feeling this, so I'll go this way. But next week I might be feeling, get out of your feels. Sometimes we got to get out of our feels, including myself, especially where this case has come from, or this particular case. Actually, a lot of these sensitive cases, right? I have to check myself sometimes, like, slow down, girl, get out of your feels, get back to reality. Okay, I need to I need to go and grab a fresh cup of coffee. Like I said, we aren't going to be on here all morning. I see, oh, Dolphin's in chat. Hey, Dolphin, I'm not, when I do get wrapped up here in a bit, I'm going to start finishing my deep dive into those documents that I want to talk about because I'm going live tomorrow with that show. Um, like I said, Joe's going to go live here in a little bit. He's got, I thought he was going to come tell you guys about it. I don't know what he's doing. Let me see what time he's going live. I think at 11. There's, I can't remember the guy's name. Hold on. Not this guest. Oh, so what is it? That Nicholas Costasis case, whatever that is. Joe's having a show about that today. But we do have some things to review, and there's not a ton. Like I said, I didn't see anything that I saw interesting about that little baby being missing, except the possibility of some clothes in the dumpster found. I don't even know what that means at this point. I wish that people wouldn't harm their children. Just go give them to somebody who won't. Okay. Let me get myself set up here before I go grab my coffee. Whoa. Okay. I don't know much about that case that Joe's going to talk about today. I kind of know about it a little bit and don't. Um, oh, he's a defendant in a criminal case. That's all I do know. One of them court TV things, but I don't know. I don't watch court TV a ton. Unless I see something on my YouTube feed, then I might. Okay. Which one did I? Oh, that was the long one. Okay. Let me get this one. Oh, I know what it was. So Plunder dropped some new video over what was yesterday. Guys, I was watching that hurricane this morning. Hurricane Aaron's cooking up the Atlantic, and we had Hurricane Aaron back in the 90s, and 4 weeks later, Opal slammed us. Aaron's sister said, "Hold my beer, Aaron. I'm coming in hot." And here come Opal, destroyed my yard. It fucking took me 3 weeks to pick up all them damn pine cones. But anyway, I was watching that this morning. Almost was late because I was knee deep. I was literally deep in a hurricane website because I'm a weather nerd. That one ain't coming near me. Thank goodness. All right, let me go grab coffee. I'm going to come right back, and we're going to take a look at something that came. I'm laughing because it's disgusting, but it's comical at the same time. We're just going to make fun of some people. So I'll be right back. Okay. Dolphin gonna go get her hot tea. I probably should be drinking tea. Whatever that sickness was I had is kind of like moved right back into my head, and it's just kind of like sitting there. But boy, I'm so much better. All right, new coffee. Okay, so we had read. This is going to pertain to Stefan Stearns, by the way, guys. Our our biggest target over here to make fun of. Okay. So we had read in the documents when we were reading the big dumps that were coming down in his case files, and there was an incident where the cops were going out to question Stefan's mom because they had figured out that. So Jennifer and Stefan and his dad were all in Kissimmee at a hotel, right? When they took them and said, "You got to leave your apartment. We're going to be searching your home," and all the mess. So they go to a hotel. Well, at some point, Stefan leaves that hotel and he drives 2.5 hours away over toward Northport, Florida, where his parents lived. And then he came back to that hotel. Well, then when they figured that out the next day, they confront the parents. Well, the mom didn't even know he had been out there. And then she's realizing, wait, the dogs were going off. He did come out, all these things. Well, at one point we read in the documents that when the cops went to question her and they literally rolled up into the yard, they could see Deborah Stearns, Stefan's mom, running around the yard around 11:30 at night, screaming Madeline into the night. Here you are all out there by yourself, run out your front door, and you're screaming Madeline into the night like some drama queen. Where are you screaming it to? Are you going to go on a search party by yourself out in the woods in your pajamas? What are we doing, Miss Dramatic? Well, then when the cops confront her, she tells the story about what she found in her son's bedroom, and I want y'all to hear what she said. Oh my, I almost can't say it with a straight face. Let me make sure this is the. I can't. Oh my God, I can't. Hold on. Just, you're not going to believe what I found. And then I was talking to Joe on the phone, and Joe said something. I was like, hold on. So I started a Google search. I was like, oh my God, Joe Schmoe. I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. Y'all, I never thought one time to Google what she found in Stern's bedroom. I just had a visual in my mind. All right, y'all try not to laugh. I'm on mute so I don't laugh. Okay, hold on.
What did you find?
A fuck torso.
A what?
Okay.
Okay. Scared the living shit out of me.
That's the extent of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to downplay it.
Hold on. That cop said, "Oh, what?" Y'all remember she found a torso doll in Stefan's room? I can't. Hold on.
I don't know what I found.
What is?
I went into his room to gather laundry. Okay.
What did you find?
A fuck torso.
A what?
Okay.
Okay. Scared the living shit out of me.
That's the extent of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to downplay it.
Oh well, I found a dildo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
That's in the trash can.
And
If you want it, I'll give it to you.
this is your son, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, "This is your son, right?" Did y'all hear what she's saying? Oh my God, hold on. I can't see y'all's comments. Y'all might be like, why are we even watching this shit, Salty? Hold on. I found it funny. I found her reaction just wow. So she also found the dildo and she threw it in the garbage, but they can have it. That cop says, "Oh, what? This is your son?"
I don't know what I found.
What is?
I went into his room to gather laundry. Okay.
What did you find?
A fuck torso.
A what?
Okay.
Okay. Scared the living shit out of me.
That's the extent of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to downplay it.
Oh, well, I found a dildo.
Yeah.
Okay. It's in the trash can.
And
If you want it, I'll give it to you.
this is your son, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ma'am, we don't want that. We do not want that shit out of that garbage can. God, no.
Because he would have wanted his Kimber.
His what?
His Kimber.
Oh.
What is a Kimber, y'all? Butterfly, what was the Kimber? I don't even know what that is. It's a Kimber. Is it I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. And Stefan at the 1017.
Hey.
What's up?
So what do you guys know?
Huh?
What do you guys know?
I just know what Commander Myers said. They have the 1017 in custody in
Okay.
Orlando. Supposedly we're supposed to come here and interview the mother.
Okay.
See if we can.
They have the 1017 in custody in Orlando. Yeah, because they held that first press conference and they put Stefan's car out there, and the guy watching the press conference goes, wait a minute, I saw that car and I saw that guy with that car. And he told him where he saw them. Lo and behold, Madeline was right across the street. So they did a second press conference and they called Jen and Stefan down there. Come on down. We're going to continue to look for Maddie. Put y'all on TV with us. That's not what happened when they got there, though. They separated them immediately and took Jen into the big room for the big line of questioning and arrested Stefan Stearns. Oh, okay, Texas, got you. That makes sense because he did have his guns in the car. And he had that one gun and the cop could see it in the body cam footage. Cop's like, are you just going to leave that in the car like that? Stefan's like, well, it's my little gun. I might have to shoot somebody one day. Little girl might talk back to me. Fucking freak.
Do a protective sweep of the house and maybe ask her questions about if Stefan had access to the storage units today.
All right. Well, that's his car. That car comes back to him.
Okay.
So the other vehicle.
Y'all see his little piece of shit's little rice burner sitting out there on the street. He couldn't drive his own car. It had to stay parked by the flagpole because it was like about to fall apart. So he drove mommy and daddy's Lincoln, and that was the dog ambulance.
Comes back to dad, and then mom is in the house. We just saw her in the front door, and she was out earlier when we were driving by.
Okay.
So
How long have you guys been sitting on this?
7-10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, who's that? Is that Jarvis?
Yeah. No, not Jarvis. Jared.
Vegan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk to her. I'll let you guys take the reins. You guys know more than I do, and he knows. But
Yeah. I know.
And remember, this location is nearly 3 hours from where Kissimmee is located. Joshua, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you coming in and giving us a listen, spending some time with us in the morning. We appreciate it.
Sounds good. Are you recording?
yeah. Hi, Jared.
How are you?
Doing good. Let's go talk to Mom.
Yeah, she's in there. She was just at the table.
Yeah.
You'll hear all them dogs barking and damn poodles.
Oh boy.
Are we okay?
Come here.
So 12:56.
Remember, Stefan told that one cop on the perp ride that his parents were old and deaf, and he needed their help with he had to go back to Northport to help them get their end of life stuff together. That's how bad off his parents were. He had moved back to Northport from Jen's to go back home to assist mom and dad, mother and father, in their end of life arrangements. And those annoying poodles, he was going to fill them babies on out to the pill mills, to the puppy mills. Like, here, free poodles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Is she here?
Are you alone inside?
Yes, why not?
No, I'm just asking. Yeah, you're upset. I just want to make sure everything's alright.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just brokenhearted right now.
Is it okay if
You can check anything you
Okay.
want to check in your room.
Okay.
Okay. Why are you upset? Has it got to do with your son?
I just found out that he came up here last night. That's why the dogs alerted, but because I was by myself.
Okay, why was he here last night?
I don't know. Chris called me and said the police in Orlando said that he came here last night.
And you didn't know he came here last night?
No, because he doesn't have a garage door up here.
So that's his vehicle out front, right?
Yeah, but he's driving my other vehicle. He's driving
Double check that, Corn.
That's back in Orlando.
That's in Orlando.
But
His dad had stated in one of the interviews that they did that they felt like Stefan was trying to get back to the house in Northport to get his now that you said that, Texas, that reminded me to try to get his pew pew, whatever you want to fucking call it on the YouTube. My cussing alone's enough, but because he wanted to unalive himself, you know. Whatever. Would he have driven off into the woods and sat in his little Lincoln and like, I can't with this. I can't. I miss my Madeline. You could have done us all a favor.
because it's a pain in the ass.
Okay. Do you mind if we flee your residence? No?
Go, everything,
Okay.
anything.
Can we talk to her a few more minutes?
Yeah.
We just want to have a decent conversation. We know that your tensions are high right
Okay.
now. All right.
He said, we just want to have a decent conversation. We know your tensions are high right now. Calm down, lady, and just answer some questions.
Do some deep reading here.
Yeah. Catch your breath. All right. We're not here to, be
You
rough.
don't know what I found.
What
I went into his room to gather laundry.
did you find?
A fuck torso.
A what?
Okay.
Okay.
Scared the living shit out of me.
That's the extent of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to downplay it.
Oh, well, I found a dildo.
Yeah.
The cop says that's the extent of it. Yeah. Wow.
That's in the trash can.
And
If you want it, I'll give it to you.
this is your son, right?
Yes.
Well, Dolphin, she claims in her statements that when she found the half torso doll, her first thought was it was real. And it was a half of a real human body laying in Stefan's room. And that terrified her, which prompted her to run out the front door screaming Madeline into the night, to be observed by the law enforcement officers who were watching her house. Yeah, okay. She's traumatized now. She found a torso and a dildo. Good God almighty.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the torso that you speak of.
It's silicone.
Oh, it's okay. All right.
Sorry, I had a mouthful of coffee. When she said that, I was talking to Joe on the phone last night, guys, and while we're talking, I'm Googling these silicone dolls, and I was floored by what I saw. $3,000. The girl ain't never going to talk back. Her hair's always pretty and shiny. Oh, my God.
It's a
Is it still
fake
in the
fuck
house?
buddy.
Okay.
It's safe to go in the house. The dogs are locked up.
Okay.
Come on, let's
I
go.
just I want to give you a
She's like-
second to breathe.
Yeah.
She's like, come on, let's go. I'll show you. Come on.
Catch your breath. Catch your breath. There's no rush.
I was in the military for 16 years. I'm real sorry I can get through this. I checked every- They just opened their model home, and it's furnished. He sits in that model home and works there.
Where's that model home at?
On Price Boulevard. It's Bright Homes, B-R-I-T-E Homes. It's on the right-hand side when you get off Toledo. Right
Yep,
turn
I
left
know
on Price.
exactly where it is. Okay.
Okay, that's the only other thing I can think of, and I just thought of it just now.
Okay.
So it's.
Okay. Let me relay that information while we get.
But you need to talk to my husband to get in because I've never done it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. We'll get that ball running. I'll get a unit.
Please don't break into it.
No, we won't do that. Absolutely.
Do you have a printer
Yes.
that works?
I bet
If I
it
email
works.
you a piece of paper, you can print it?
Yeah. Come on.
Okay. What's your email address?
Got the card.
Oh, he's got. Yeah, I'll just send her the thing and then have her. I'll be right back.
Okay. See, we changed from, and Chris has it, so we couldn't have seen him.
I don't know if he actually.
I wonder if they sit and think about the red flags that they saw flying in their face his entire life. A lot of times I see people floating through life. My baby will be okay tomorrow. He'll grow out of it. My baby will be okay by the time he's 17. He'll grow out of it. Will he, mother? Will he ever grow out of it? Heartbreakingly, apparently they won't. But are we about to unleash those little babies onto society one day? Because we were too embarrassed to help them?
He was in the house last night.
He couldn't get in the house.
Yeah. He may have tried.
All of this is impact glass. He can't even break it.
Yeah.
You shoot it, it will still maintain integrity.
It's called Hurricane Glass Lady. You live in Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing we lost during Ian was 12-inch things. Got a little water in the backyard. These houses are built like a bunker. They even fill the all the concrete block with foam insulation.
Yeah, it's a beautiful home.
Well,
how long have you guys lived here?
3.5 years, but you know, we sat out here and listened. I-75 is right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see the trucks in the daytime, but
She's extremely preoccupied blaming Jen. They gave Stefan every out they could possibly think of, right? She did this. She caused him to. Maybe she did. But he willingly participated. Co-conspirators.
when you go in there and shut the door, you don't
But only one was charged and convicted. Damn it, man.
hear them.
Yeah. Soundproof.
It's soundproof.
Yeah, that's good.
But I would bet donuts to dollars that he tried to get in this house last night.
Yeah.
Because he would have wanted his Kimber.
His what?
His Kimber.
Oh. Yeah. So he doesn't have to get into the front door?
Even if he had it. Oh. My husband?
I don't know. Looks like.
But see, this has got this lock.
Yeah.
Let me see if this.
You're not missing anything from the house?
Because if I want to see if they have the one where they. It's this piece of shit car. But all he's got in his car, man. Let me go a little further because they're gonna. Trying to find if this in this part or not where they call. I want you guys to hear. We're looking around the home.
Do you have a
Okay.
Hey, Fegan, do you have a consent form?
flipped off, and she's talking about when we're talking about these mothers who look at their children who are having behavioral issues and call it just a phase. It happens all the time. You know, they're just being normal children. It's just a phase. He'll grow out of it. She'll grow out of it. This, that, and the other. Sometimes they can't, won't, and parents don't follow through with treatments or, you know, get aggressive with if you see a problem when they're young. I was the opposite of that. If I felt like there was a problem, we're about to find every doctor we can get a hold of, and we're going to see if we can fix this. I don't care if it was a speech problem. Let's go. That's how I rolled, like to the point, you know. But some parents won't. They're just like, oh, no, no, no. We won't go talk about this to people because this is a little crazy. You'll just grow out of it.
That sounds good. We'll get that ball running. I'll get a unit. Please don't break into it. No, we won't do that. That's the count.
Do you have a printer that
Yes.
that works? If I email you a piece of paper, are you able to print it?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your email address? Yeah, I'll just send her the thing and then have her print it. All right, I'll be right back.
I'm trying to find the one where the spot where they have both parents there on the phone. It's maybe the other video that she had dropped. I think it was on the other video because it was a much longer one. The rest of this is just filler of them. This, I think they actually went in, hang on, to Stefan's room here. I don't know if we'll see the doll. What happened? Okay. Let me pull it back up and it'll start back up again. When they got the phone call was interesting when they were both there together. Hang on, let me make sure what's going on here with this. Okay. Let me get this where we need it to be before I put it back on screen. Okay. Okay, I got the video now. This is where she shared the video with Chris is there with her, with Deborah Stearns. Okay.
With Orange County.
Your wife again too about it. Can I ask everything? Oh no, we were hoping to talk with you and your wife again about the other day. You and your son. And just him traveling back here.
Your second hand, I'd rather just hear him.
Yeah, that's fine. We'd like to talk about that.
Were you here the other night? No, I was. Oh, you were? Yeah, just for a bit. I was down the road.
Sure. I mean, you want to come in? The dogs are out.
They're outside.
Okay, yeah.
Back there.
No, I had an energy drink. More coffee, I'd probably explode. I won't go to sleep tonight.
Ew.
Yes, there they are.
Yeah.
Ew.
How old are they?
The one jumping is 3. The one next to us, her sister, passes is 2. The 2 black ones are little maids. The 2 big black ones, the boys.
Mhm.
They're going to be 7. And the little one in front is Abby. She's
That damn tattoo that says Sustenance underneath there, that little banner, that was his Reddit name. Sustenance.
just turned 5.
You guys foster or what?
I bred all of these dogs.
Oh, okay.
These are
Hey,
the
Yes,
ones
sir.
that one right there.
Yes, sir.
I have it on my desk.
No worries.
Okay, all right.
Not worried.
It's America. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, I used to be in law enforcement a long time ago.
Where'd you work for?
Orange County.
Oh, okay. Were you a deputy up there, or?
Yeah, I did law enforcement for a couple of years, and then I got a bug up my butt to get into working with a food company in sales, because the apartment I lived at, there was a guy that worked for Stouffer Foods, and he was always on the phone making reservations for hotels, dinner, and golf. And he had a company car. And I said, I want a job like that. So I went to Atlanta and got a job with Kalamazoo.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, so I spent 20 years in the food business, so yeah.
Nice.
Probably better than civil service.
Well, you know, once you get it in your blood, you can't get out.
Yeah.
And I told the detective in Orange County, I said, I moved from Jacksonville to Orlando, rented a truck, moved down.
This kind of gives you a little insight into these. They may be weird to me and not to others, but they are to me. He's going to go into this long ass story about his career. And the only reason you listen to it is because, like, what am I going to learn about Stefan and his behavior watching the way you two interact? Dolphin, I was on there this morning and I see some stuff now, but I'm checking that out because I saw your comment, but I was on there this morning as well. Let me check things out. Here we go.
And I was taking the truck back Sunday evening. I had to be in Jacksonville for a meeting 7 o'clock in the morning.
There's his little thumb injury. Remember, guys, he was changing the tire and hadn't done that in so long. He ended up smashing his poor little thumb. He claims that's how that thumb injury happened, that he smashed it while changing the tire. Did you really? Or were you... I guess it's not a tooth impression.
So it's late. I'm traveling on 436 towards I-4. I'm in Castleberry at the intersection of 436 and 1792, and I'm behind this green pickup truck. And I noticed he was kind of weaving. Okay, so he goes through the intersection, and this guy's like weaving all over the place. And I look up ahead, and there's a guy riding a bike on the side of the road, and he pulls all the way over to the right.
Right, Dolphin?
Oh, he's going to hit that. And he hit him and sent him flying.
Oh, God.
And then he kept going. And here I am racing to catch up to him to get the license plate number in this stupid truck that's got a governor on it, I think. He pulls in the parking lot of the ABC liquor store, and he turns around and looks at me. And I said, thank you. I got your face. And immediately jumped out, went to the payphone, called out of my police PD, and gave them the information and told them what direction I thought he went. They came up with taking my story. They came up to take my story. In the meantime, I went back to get the guy, and I'm thinking as I'm walking up to him, I said, I better let him know that I was there to help him, that I didn't hit him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because he could, come up swinging, what have you. I half carried him and the bike and got back to the ABC store. And then while they were interviewing me, they got a radio call that they got the guy. So long story short, I didn't get out.
He had a battery in a pill bottle. What's there a battery in the pill bottle for? Safekeeping. So yeah, Dolphin, I did see that this morning. So it looks like, to me, I feel like that maybe is the state's response and possibly the defendant's responses to the order regarding the sealed documents in the Idaho case. So those were on the 18th submitted, and those are the responses. Response to court's order regarding sealed documents, and then the other one came in as well, because they had their timeline of when to get those first 43 documents unsealed.
Out of there until after I gave my report till midnight. Meanwhile, I still got to get back to Jacksonville, and that's a 2.5-hour drive. The truck breaks down. It's south of where I live. These sailors come by, they pick me up, and they drop me off. Let me just tell you, it was a long Monday morning. That's all I can say.
Start of the week too, right?
And after that good deed that you did,
Yeah, Dolphin, he is ex-law enforcement, and every time he gets around these cops, they just buddy. Every time we've ever heard an interview with this guy or read his interviews, he's just like chilling with his cop buddies, right? And never mind what my son did. I'm one of you.
your car broke down. What the heck?
Well, of course.
Look, there's this little, what do y'all call them thingies? The Tamagotchis or whatever. Look at that little collection, like he's like a little 8-year-old boy. I'm sorry, if your grown ass man, son, still lives in your home and you're finding torso dolls and dildos and children's toys, that might be a red flag. Go take a look. I'm about to.
He was most famous for getting calls when he was in an orange grove and he got his car stuck 3 times.
Well, no.
My mama always said, never say never, and don't say not my child, and rake around your own back door first, sister.
So nature called, and I slid into the orange grove and got the car stuck. Wait. Twice that night.
Oh, nice.
Can you imagine me taking the car back and handing the keys to the sergeant? And it was like, I wish there were cell phones back then. I could have got somebody. You had to go over to a certain channel and they say, hey, John, my supervisor, switch over to channel 9. And so I gave him the information. Now I could hear him calling the sergeant. They went to scramble here.
What the hell, dude?
It's like, you could tell the sergeant was talking at that time. It was all scrambled. It was like, there wasn't a hole big enough for me to go hide after the second time. First time, okay. Second time,
it's on you, right?
It's like, this guy don't even care why they're actually there. Let's just talk about my story. Yeah, sit down now. Now, what did y'all come out here for? What'd you come all the way out here for? And then he, remember that one time for Butterfly, we were listening to the interview, and the cop was there interviewing Stefan's parents. And you think, an old married couple, I know how you want your coffee. I know what you want it to look like, taste like, all the things. So Stefan's dad tells his mom, yeah, I'll take a cup of coffee, and I want it blonde like you. And it's like, what, old man? You're telling your wife you want your coffee blonde like her in front of this cop. Nobody cares. Gross. Get up and make your own damn coffee, old man. Shit. You want blonde? Fuck. Strawberry blonde? Dirty blonde? Bright blonde? What are we doing?
I don't think this works out for me. So stay on the orange groves. Anyway, how can I help you guys?
So just
You want to sit down?
Oh, no, I would sit all day.
Okay.
Sit behind the desk. Typing all day.
I have 2
The cop's like, if I sit down, y'all never gonna let me damn well leave this house.
knees. I don't
You
want
sit,
to-
yeah.
Oh, no,
we don't
please
know.
sit where it's your house.
Yeah, this is your house.
Yeah, no, we're just stopping by.
Me, I just pay rent.
Yeah, right.
So it's on my way. Yeah, it's like Sure World, I just live in it. So the morning of and everything, you were up. I know you already had this all out with Orange County guys.
Yeah, I was at the hotel until I was up at 6:30. I wanted to get to the office by 8 o'clock before the 8:30 meeting, and so that's like a 20-minute ride. So I'm pretty sure I left just around 8 o'clock thereabouts. So as far as I knew, everybody was tucked in bed at 3:15 when I left them.
Sure.
I was on the opposite ends. Had no idea where they were parked. I had to find the last parking spot out in 40 acres out. But I had no idea that Stefan had left the hotel until 9:45 Wednesday morning.
Okay, until 9:45. So
Yeah.
was that? How did you find that? Was it the
Called me.
Okay.
He called me to ask if Stefan was with me. And I said, no. Why? Well, he's not in the room. I said, well, how long has he been gone? 25 minutes. I said, okay.
Oh, I just realized in the very faint background, I hear her say, Plunder, true crime. Shout out, Plunder. Yes, this is her video, guys, if you heard that. Oh, I had to stop it right there. Sorry.
We'll go down the lobby and find out if he's in the lobby. So then I hung up and I called back and I go, are your car keys there? And she looked around and said, no. Okay.
Look at that. Too bad you were the biggest failure of a mother to walk the face of the earth, Jen. Too bad. Literally your job Once you decided to have that baby, I said decided, and you had one job.
Okay. Then much later in the day, I found out it was more like 45 minutes. Because she said she woke up at 9. She called me at 9:45.
Oh.
So then I said, okay, it was really 45 minutes, which kind of blew me away because the last time I saw Stefan at 3:15, he looked physically, mentally drained.
Sure.
And I figured they both had, and that they were both going to crash and burn hard. And my son,
They were both going to crash and burn hard. And every time we turned around reading these thousands of documents we read in this case, that was the case. That was apparently what Jen and Stefan did. We'll stay awake, we'll do our weed, we'll do our pills, we'll do our Atavans, da-da-da-da-da. And then when we crash and burn, we crash hard. Because, Jen's got to get all that damn sleep in little part-time jobs.
it'd be 100 years before he could get up. But
Sure.
obviously, shows you how
100 years before he get up. So they expect Stefan to go crash hard in that room at times, and what we see him 2 or 3 days later, that was the norm.
much I knew.
Sure. Yeah, and it's.
I mean, I was blown away when the detective told me that, asked me what exit number I lived at, and I said 179. What road is that? I said Toledo Blade, and he said, "Well, we have evidence that Stefan was exiting at 7:45 this morning."
Right.
Well, the storage unit's over to the way too.
So yes, so I did some math and figuring out.
Lord, Jen can't live without that vape, right, Dolphin? I want to help Xana find her vape, but Jen, you can shove your... Never mind, ma'am. You know what you can do with your vape.
Well, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, he had to leave like at 4:30
Sure.
to get down there at 7:45. God forbid what the traffic would be like out of Orlando on I-4, the intersection of 75
At that time.
and
Just
then
to get over
Sarasota.
there.
Yeah. You got 3 of those. And when I came home Wednesday,
I wonder how that cat felt about Stefan. He's probably, no, not that guy again. Please keep evil out. I've been trying to warn them, and they're not listening.
Thursday, and I'm looking at the northbound traffic 2 times. I saw huge lines of traffic stalled. And I said,
usually.
he must have had the luck of Irish with him or something going back north, because you never know what to experience, especially trying to get back during rush hour, what have you. Then he came back and he came back to the hotel room about between 11:15 and 11:30, because by that time I was over there.
Okay.
Because they called and said, hey, we're going to come over and we'll be at the hotel in an hour. I go, oh shit.
Sure.
Okay, he's not going to be there. There's going to be a bolo out for him, whatever.
And for those of you who don't know, this little partitioner here, that was the wall they put up to give Maddie a personal, private little bedroom back behind the little folding door, right smack in the middle of the house. The living room / dining room / kitchen combo. 3 bedrooms upstairs, 1 downstairs, 4 in total. Maddie gets a partitioned off room in the main part of the home with no privacy for a teenage girl. Jen's okay with that, though, because Mama needs good sleep in the king-size bed, all alone.
Right. And then he showed up, and then the police never showed up. So I said, okay, that was a ruse. They were checking to see if she would say, well, he's not here.
Sure.
So she didn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what time did you get? You said 11:15 back to the hotel.
Somewhere
Roughly.
between 11:15 and 11:30.
Being a Florida resident and knowing how many years me and my ex-husband carried annual passes to the Walt Disney World location that I didn't like, because I liked Universal 100 times better. So did the kids. So did my husband. But we'd go to Disney, because they're kids. They want to go to Disney. But this thought of people like that standing there shaking my child's hand and smiling at my baby, one wrong move, Bubba, is all it's going to take.
Because I was thinking, well, when's the hour? I said, I thought 11:30 was the witching hour, and he came in before that.
Sure.
And he was just very calm, and he had an energy drink, and his excuse was that he got lost. He didn't have a GPS, and he got lost in the back roads of Disney and coming back. I said, okay, well, again, very plausible defense, because
He had his phone on him then. Though, didn't
no, they already.
A very plausible defense. Mister.
Confiscated the phone the night before. Okay. So me with the GPS, I even took the wrong exit and had to do a U-turn to come back to get over to the hotel.
Okay. Did he have, do we know any other devices or anything? Or?
Yeah, Dolphin, according to Jen, Maddie couldn't sleep alone. Maddie was such a nervous little child and afraid. She couldn't sleep alone. She had to have, Stefan says she required human contact. And he's pointing these things out to Jen as Jen's over there trying to figure out what's wrong with my little girl. She said this and that. Stefan's like, I got the answers. I gave out good advice on Reddit on how you moms should handle your daughters. She just needs human contact, Jen. I can provide that skin-to-skin contact while you sleep uninterrupted. So Texas, the condo was owned by Jennifer Soto's dad, and he lived there at one point with Madeline and Jennifer. And at some point he moved out. Then Stefan moves in with Jen. But they were sharing Jen's bedroom. They were a couple. The other rooms upstairs were legit renters of the complex. So there was 2 other women who rented rooms upstairs. One of them had a 15-year-old son that she had to share her room with. One of the victims, and now we know that as a victim, cops approached her during the investigation and said, ma'am, we've going through Stefan's phone. They had evidence that he had taken his phone and went to that girl's bedroom door and stood his phone up in a way that he was recording her under her bedroom door in the same apartment where Maddie and him, they all lived. Woman had no idea he was doing it. Isn't that crazy? They even show us how they did it in the document, the evidence drop that we got.
No, not that I know of.
That we know of.
I have no idea because it's like I don't know my son.
Sure.
Right.
No, my heart goes. I'm a father. Yeah. My heart goes out to you. I can't imagine what you're going through.
I mean, the conversations he's had with me all week is just both floating the face lies. Everything. There's nothing he said to me that is a speck of truth.
Yeah. Right. And that's kind of our concern too, is that we just.
He's not alone in this.
No. So.
Deb, you may or may not be right. We don't know, but we hear you, ma'am. We're not taking anything. We're not helping your son out here, ma'am, like you're trying to do, but we agree with that statement.
She's involved heavily. She's bisexual. I don't know what happened, but.
Right.
Thanks to Stefan's mom, and now backed up in court documents, we do know that Jennifer was apparently bisexual. And that prompted a lot of rumors as to what was really going on in this house. Never saw any evidence that Jennifer was involved in this stuff, but knew about it, yeah. Because there's not one evidence on that phone or anything on Jennifer's phone that showed she was a part of what they were doing on camera.
So
there's some monkey shit going on. I think he fell on his sword for her.
And if that's the case, that's what we're trying to figure out. We want to know just as much as you.
He would not have been.
No.
I mean, sobbing so hard you was almost puking, and she's cool as a cucumber.
Sure.
Well, now I find out from the press conference today that he had a flat between 1:45 and 2:30. He called me at 3:17 that afternoon, Monday, to tell me he had a flat tire. So how the fuck can you have a flat tire? The tires are in fairly good condition.
Right.
He said you just drove up there driving to school and back. And
that is Jennifer Soto's bedroom, and the door is open. And what do you see? You see the kitchen. The kitchen. right there outside your bedroom door. But yet, the morning that your daughter goes missing, Stefan is up getting your daughter ready for school. You hear noises in the kitchen. You hear voices in the kitchen. You assume one is your daughter, but you're not sure one's your daughter. Do you not know your daughter's voice? You hear them. You know Stefan's in there. Hell, Stefan opens the door and comes in and gets a little dog leash. You still don't know for sure that's your daughter in the kitchen?
I know he had nowhere to go. He would go back to the townhome and crash and burn.
Yeah.
How could you get a flat tire? I mean, it's possible, but really.
Dolphin, I don't think they had told the parents yet. And right now, when they're confronting the parents, they're going to be getting a phone call about Maddie's body being found. But right now, they do know Stefan got arrested. So I think at this point, they do know that there was something on the phone. But to the extent, I can't remember, this one was from March 1. God, I've read so many of their damn interviews. They all kind of run together. But this was right after he was arrested. So they're finding out about everything. And they still, even when they found out about all the images, they're still wanting to, let's lessen it for Stefan because Jen's involved. That doesn't lessen shit for Stefan in our eyes, right?
Right. But it was so severe. I mean, he said he got it on 192 and drove the rubber right off the wheel. I mean, he was riding around on the rim.
Yeah.
And didn't know which shopping center he was at. I mean, it's just like, and then the bullshit story he told me about his phone.
My favorite, the tire tread. Thank God that tire exploded right there. And Jesus said, nope, we're going to leave evidence on top of that.
So, I mean,
Well, the other bullshit is
what
Wood told us that she had a headache Sunday night. He was sleeping in his room. She sent in there to sleep with him. And
okay.
then Monday morning, all of a sudden, she disappears.
Yeah. Mama's got a point. Because Sunday night, they get back to the apartment and she's got the headache and all the things when Jennifer gets home. So she goes to bed and tells them two to go upstairs. That's an image that come out of the new docs. We have these on a map in the big, massive doc drop where they track this car all the way across town. But Plunder recently got the actual video cams from around town. And that car right there at the intersection, that silver, you can see the donut tire where he changed his tire. That's what that is, an image of his car. She's got more of those videos of his car coming and going around town on the cameras. If you guys want to go check out Plunder True Crime, she's got more she released over there.
Oh, she supposedly had blood tests.
Bullshit.
But anyway, let the officers continue. What's up?
I mean, we're just really trying to get or nail down his timeline while he's down here. Just trying to help them out, and then
The most I could figure, based on what the detective told me his arrival time was, and by the time he came back to the hotel, he had probably an hour here.
Mhm.
And then I was shocked to hear that he went to the storage facility.
that we worked through that. That
Yeah.
ended up
We just came from there.
their
The way
system
their system generates
saying
reports
it
is
as
messed
if it
up.
was access, but I mean, honestly, when's the last time that you accessed it? When do you think?
Well, I got a call a couple of weeks ago about the lock not being the unit not being properly locked, and I go, okay, maybe I thought I had slid the bolt over and put the lock.
Now, they had concerns when they realized that Stefan had took off to Northport in the middle of the night, and they're trying to figure out what he was doing when he was over there. That was before they found Maddie. Where is she? Where could he have taken her? Because the cops were already suspicious of him. And they thought he tried to access the family storage unit that night, but apparently he didn't. The last logged in attempt was by Chris a couple weeks before. They end up determining all that. But what they did, the cops did go search that storage unit. And that's where they found this computer. And on the computer hard drive, 35,000 CSAM images of unknown children. And when the cop confronts and tells Stefan's dad that information, he says, 35,000. And the cop says, yes, sir. And we have no way to identify all of those children. 35,000 images of children that they can't identify.
in where I was supposed to. I said, hell, anything could be possible. So I went over the next day. I was trying to find on my phone when she called, but I couldn't determine it. But I would say within the last 2 weeks, I was there.
Yeah,
that matches
that's
up.
the last time that your access codes or any of that stuff.
He was here during that time. He was living here during that time.
Sure.
There's only one time your code was accessed between January and now, and it lines up to about when you're
Okay, yeah, because I moved him down here in December, so he'd been rented a room for the last year. But prior to that, he lived there for a couple of years.
Sure.
But I brought him down in December because I was paying for him to live there and work at Disney, and it's like, you can't afford to work for Disney. You're broke.
Sure.
But I didn't realize he was paying their bills as well, because I'm sending him money to live and finding out afterwards I'm paying for 3 people.
Yeah.
No, sir. You were paying for him. You thought you were. So when Jennifer and him break up at some point and he moves out, he moves upstairs to bedroom 4. But because he moved to bedroom 4 and Daddy still owns the unit, you got to pay rent on unit 4. Bedroom 4 needs rent money, $600 a month worth of rent money that Stefan's mommy and daddy, mother and father, were paying so he could live in the same home with his favorite thing. And then Dad said, like, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm paying all this money. Get your ass back to Northport. Get a real job. I'll give you a job again. And you're going to fail miserably at that again. To get your ass back to Northport, I ain't paying that money anymore, son.
But so I moved him back here in December, so he's been here since December.
So he came back there in December. By February, Maddie was gone. And everybody's like, well, he had done moved out. Well, guess what? He never stopped going back over there, because from December to February, this guy was focused on making those regular trips back down to Northport. Or back down to Kissimmee from Northport. Because I got to go help Jen. Jen needs help this week.
Popular guy.
No, I'm on call, so it's just one of those things. So he, we have good reason to believe, and that his car, he was actually down here a little bit earlier. So the time frame that they passed to you, that was him actually leaving and heading back. Like when they say, hey, he was down here.
They said 7:45. He was leaving here at 7:45.
So that's what we're seeing is that so he got here roughly. Here is in off of Toledo Blade.
We're
It's
thinking
6:29.
that when the dogs alerted, it was 3:19 in the morning, and all 5
The dogs?
Oh yeah, there's no way. I mean, I was in here the other night with you, man, and then I walked in. I just checked on you, and then I had to leave. For the dogs were absolutely going. So there's no way that.
But see, I left him at 3:15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the hotel room.
Okay,
So he still needed at least 3 hours to get here.
Sure.
And you're telling me they went on full alert 3:19? You said?
3:19.
Yeah. Okay. So
That
it was
probably-
so
that
he
probably
All
wasn't.
5 of us.
Yeah.
The dogs went on full alert at 3:19. Full alert. Because Mommy and Daddy's baby boy was outside the family home lurking around the windows. Can I get in and get my Kimber? I need my Kimber.
On the bed, looking at my window in full battle roar.
Yeah.
What was the time that?
Scared the crap out of me.
When did you happen to wake up that day?
When they woke me up.
Well, I mean, like for the day you got up at 3, or
You were up by 8:30.
Yeah.
Because you were.
That chain right there was the very first thing I noticed when photos came out of that condo. Before we even knew backstories, here's some pictures that were in the condo. Hey, we're in Florida. We're getting it all up front. And I was like, damn, that's a massive ass lock. And then I saw the inside of that room and that lock. And I thought, man, that's an unusual lock for it. If you're a roommate situation, is it unusual? Would it be unusual because you're taking a freaking little child into that room with you constantly? If I had been Jen, I'd have been like, you know what, dude, take that big ass lock off that fucking door. And no, my baby ain't going upstairs to sleep in your room. That's what mothers do, Jen. No, I'm not. No, dude. Get the fuck out of my house. Asking my daughter come slumber with you tonight.
You had texted me or something, but she was up, I believe, by 8:30, which surprised me because I knew she went to bed late. But
oh God, they got the image with his toy on the nightstand. I'm not even going to describe to y'all what that thing's for. Ew, if you know, you know.
No, I had a VA call. They do teleconferences, and they never call me.
That sounds about
That sounds about accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
but you think he was here earlier? Because,
Around 6:30 in the morning.
well, he must somehow
So he
Yeah, the older brother is Stefan's half brother. Is Deborah's other son. She had a son when she married Chris here, and then they had Stefan together. But yeah, he's in the military guy. I don't know if he still is or not. I've left him alone because he hasn't done anything wrong. But yeah, he don't have nothing to do with his family. I wouldn't want nothing to do with it. I'd be like, oh hell no.
left right after you checked.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, look, now it's my turn. Oh, Orange County SO.
You, go ahead.
Yeah,
Finish it.
yeah, take your time.
Okay, notice at that point, Chris Stearns receives a call and he says, Orange County SO, it must be the sheriff's office. According to the documents, this is when they learn Maddie has been found. So it says here, during the interview, Christopher received a phone call from another law enforcement agency wherein they alerted him her body had been recovered. So they say after receiving the call, Chris appeared solemn and upset that she had indeed been murdered. Prior to departing the residence, he explained his son had left a gaming computer. So there's a lot more we have to listen for, and especially listen for Deborah's words. She's going to say some interesting things I hope we can pick up, but they do a lot of cross-talking, so it might be a little difficult. So listen, hopefully with headphones.
This is Chris.
I was here all that day.
Hello. I'm standing here with Northport PD, and I said Orange County's calling. They take precedent. I have to answer this call.
Oh.
2 Northport police officers. Yes. Well, one's about 6'4", 6'3", and the other one's
5.
about.
Do you notice the cops start laughing? Because I guess the cop on the phone asked Chris to describe the cops that were in the house talking to him, which I found that, is that unusual or is that police protocol? They're like, oh, you got other officers there from another department? Describe what they look like. Could they be like pretenders?
5'8".
5'8".
Average.
No, they're just asking me about timeline questions.
Okay, Annie, I get that. And that's so my granny, right? Let's just throw it in a pill bottle. We can't lose it in the purse. But Stefan's a man. What's he got a battery and a pill bottle for next to the computer? I look at the odd shit. I'm like, why is that there? What's the purpose?
I can't have my blood pressure go way down.
And honestly, a pill bottle cleaned out is great for camping. You can store a lot of little things in there. Don't get me wrong, but it's odd in a bedroom on the desk.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the middle of an interview.
Special batteries.
She's what? Oh, yeah, deceased. Okay.
Can you call the on-call supervisor?
Hang on.
Larry. Yeah. Thank you.
That we have what? You broke up. I didn't hear that we have what?
What was it? Marshall's asking for someone. I don't know what for.
And you'll notice how that bedroom has a 3 on it, guys, because we all thought when this first story was developing, like, why is there a number 4 on this bedroom? Is this house a brothel? What's happening here? Why is there a big 4 on the door? All of the bedrooms upstairs, all the 3 bedrooms, all had a number. Jen's was considered bedroom 1, which was the master bedroom downstairs, and then the 3 upstairs was known as 2, 3, and 4. I guess that was for the purposes of renting out the rooms. Oh yeah, deceased. The way he said it, Dolphin. Really.
Okay.
I wonder if that girl got pregnant.
How were you able to locate it?
I don't have any of those answers. No.
He said, "How were you able to locate her?" By the grace of God, sir. Your son's tire blew out and he had to stop right there. He was traveling toward one of the lakes, back towards Santa of St. Cloud's house, until his tire blew out. Drove that bitch all the way down till he couldn't drive it no more.
Oh. In St. Cloud? Yeah, in St. Cloud?
Yes, in St. Cloud.
Okay.
I was still hoping she was alive.
Look at that shit.
Okay, well, I just kicked it up to the biggest notch. We're at big showtime now.
That just kicked it up to the biggest notch. We're at big showtime now. So your son went into court and decided to eat the microphone.
Not that we didn't know this, but I said this.
Oh, you know what? We are to tell. Let me write Stefan today and I'll say, look, dude, if you need a buddy to help to get you through the difficult times, write that Coburger guy. I hear he's having a hard time as well. Y'all can swap stories, comfort one another, and support each other. How about that? I want to see those communications too. I'm going to set it up just for shits and giggles to give me something to do.
You know, this confirms what we've suspected all along. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Betsy, I think a lot of us here that have been reviewing the case for as long as we have, we would probably have a little more sympathy for these parents if they warranted it. Right? This is not the first time I've listened to these two parents do an interview. This is probably about the 50th. And this is just the first time we have the audio to go with this particular one. But I think a lot of us could have got there if they had handled the situation right. But a lot of us feel like they didn't. So our sympathy for them kind of fell off a little bit, you know?
Yeah, no.
You cannot tell me your grown son was into sex dolls, torsos, children, and you never knew there was something freaky deaky going on in his mind. They pretty much admit all of it, that they always knew something wasn't right with poor little Stefan since he got ran over by that truck in that parking lot that one time. The crying you're going to hear in the background is from Stefan's dramatic mother.
Yeah. Yes. By the way, I didn't catch your name when we first met, so I have you in my phone as Orange County SO. So. Okay, Alex. Okay, because when you call, I like to refer to you by name, not Orange County SO. You know. So, Alex, yeah, I understand.
Law enforcement in South Carolina.
Which part?
He's in Goose Creek.
I understand. Alex, I appreciate it. It's a pleasure to meet you.
He was Navy.
All right, thank you.
Now he works with the security.
Well, they found the body,
True crime
and it's been
audio.
leaked. So he wanted me to know.
What?
They found the body.
Oh.
It's been leaked. So it's out there in the ether world, and he wanted me to know.
She's like, what? And he shouts it at her. I found the body. Jesus Christ. Put on some more coffee. Take a Xanax. Go in there in Stefan's room and get one of them Adavans. He might have one stash if him and Jen didn't eat them all by the handful.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for both of you. I mean,
She said, Rondi, is that a hoarder's room? Jennifer's room you were looking at with all this shit in it. Yeah.
If you need help keeping people from your door, call us.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
came here yesterday.
Call us.
Yes.
That's why we put the film up the door so
Sure.
they can't see in.
Yeah. And if they're bothering you too much, obviously, do call us, please.
Yeah.
I told you I wasn't going to poop.
The Crocs, well, there were a couple of pair of white Crocs in the home. The significance of the white Crocs, though, and I don't know about that particular pair, but I've got tons of images of these white Crocs. When Madeline was found, she was found with one white Croc. The mate to her white Croc was found inside the home.
Oh, if they get in my backyard, they can step in shit.
Well, we can't go forever not doing it.
I know.
Okay. All right. Where we left off, he was here earlier.
And just a reminder, even after cops located video of Stefan Stearns rolling into the Holiday Inn parking garage and going up about 2 floors, thinking nobody could see him, he gets out of the car, goes to the passenger seat, takes a lifeless, dead Madeline Soto's body to the trunk of the car and puts her in and shuts it, all on video camera. Even after finding that out, mother and father were still there to support.
Earlier. We're just trying to figure out
Around 6:30.
his path.
I mean, he literally would have had to have left the hotel when I left him at 3:17. I'm thinking 3:17 or so, but we got there at 3, checked in. Did I call you at that time, Deb?
What?
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
Probably you knew I'd be awake.
I don't think so, but
I don't know.
let me
Probably got
see.
the watch stuff.
Because I can't believe how far back these calls are retaining now. I thought within a short period of time. So that would have been Wednesday. So that was 6:28. So it would have been earlier than that.
Did they happen to say how she died?
No, and if he did, he would tell me.
Typically with cases such as this, they're going to wait until they have.
I mean, I'm surprised he even called to tell me that.
And everything else. So,
Where did he say she was found?
Why do people
St.
always
Cloud.
assume that the parents are the reason
Where's that
they
at?
like that?
It's south of Kissimmee, but I'm not that familiar with Kissimmee.
Yeah, me either.
that's not why.
Okay, I talked to her at 2:41
No, not you.
Wednesday.
The universe.
So 2:41.
These media
and then
people, they want to get you into
8:15.
vulnerable.
So I talked to her at
They
2:41.
sound right for the resume, and I just
Let me see.
They just make
121.
It appears from Stefan liked to take videos on that phone. And the night in question, it looks like evidence is going to show that Maddie was not even awake. So, was he drugging her? When did he kill her? Or whoever killed her, when did that happen? It appears, from everything that we've seen in documents, it happened inside that home. Now, we're never going to see the actual autopsy reports and all that in Florida because she's a minor and it is what it is, and I'm okay with that. But we do know she was strangled. And that would have come out in court too. That's in the court documents, but it apparently did occur inside the home. By the time he puts her in that car the next morning, she's already gone.
misery.
I agree.
2:41, 2:29.
I can't imagine what you're going through.
When they got to the door,
We know that 11:45ish, a little before midnight that night, Stefan Stearns was on the Telegram app. We don't know what he was doing, what he was posting, what he was looking at, who he was talking to, what he was sharing, none of the things. It's incredibly, incredibly hard to retrieve data from that particular app. It's all encrypted and used by these types of guys because of that reason. But we don't know what he was posting about. What does that say about our timeline, right? As far as what time something happened to Madeline.
with the microphone. All I did, I got there, I
8:15
saw the
a.m.
microphone, I just
So, yeah.
went
so-
down and turned around and left. Get a walk
Yeah, I didn't talk to her after, told her I was checking in, so I left him at 3:15, and he must have bolted out.
I mean, you're not gonna bother us, the police, if
I'm
people
kinda
come
thinking
harass
this
or anything.
He must have bolted out right away after I left him. and headed down to Northport, which means that when she called me, that was bullshit. Do you know where Stefan is?
Yeah, because she called me
At 9:45.
Oh, okay.
And so that had to be part of their game. And that is, got her ass to nail the rights here. 151, because they had Stefan's phone, so I was communicating with her.
Right.
So let's see. 9:48. She called.
9:48.
Yes, so it's like Dolphin's comment just said that law enforcement could see Madeline on CCTV. And we also have the security guard who saw her in the car, but he thought she was asleep because he had her strapped in the front seat in a seat belt and her whole head was slumped over. And he rode around town like that with her before he decided to pull up into the parking garage and transfer her to the trunk of the car. So then you go, okay, now we got a flat tire and I got to change this tire. But guess what's on top of my spare tire? Madeline. So did you look both sides of the highway, coast is clear, and ran across the street with that baby in your arms and dropped her in the woods? And then changes the tire and somebody rides by and sees him struggling with his tire? Well, there's a rumor about the pregnancy, but that's never been confirmed in her autopsy reports or anything that we've seen. It was never brought up in court. Of course, we got the plea deal and all that. So that is a rumor, but it's never been ever, and he was never charged with harming a fetus, right? So it's just a rumor that she was pregnant. But Maddie was at a point where she was fighting back. Already telling them when I turn 13 and I get all my birthday money, I'm leaving here and I'm going to live in the woods. I'm going to build me a little house. Maddie literally had her 13th birthday party that week and was disappointed because she didn't get enough money to leave and go live in the woods. Jen knew that little girl wasn't happy at her house.
Yeah, let's see.
And I told you what when she called you.
Do I know where Stefan was? Okay, and then she called back at 9:49.
Are you sure he didn't come here? If he did,
And then,
I swear to God, you can put me on line.
I'm not accusing you of anything. No.
she called me at 10:17, and that's when she relayed to me that the police are on their way.
Okay.
I leave them loose so they
And
can.
There's no way. I mean, a window could.
yeah, 10:17. So
This is all impact.
yeah, that was it. Let's see.
But like,
Another call was 10:47. Outgoing call, 16 seconds.
So I love for poodles.
So I think I may have called her to let her know I was on the way. I may have called her one more to let her know I was pulling into. I said I'm here. So when I got up there, the room was completely dark. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know, the room is dark, and I walked in there, opened up the shades, and to bring some light in. And she was out of it.
No friends in the area.
She was on.
The only friend I know.
She must have been on her anxiety meds, and she was sitting down, and both of her legs were bouncing up and down rapidly.
I don't think they'd let him in it. Whatever.
And
if he just went by.
Y'all remember on the videos where we watched when they did the interviews with the news and you could see Jen's legs just bouncing 90 to nothing? Some people are just leg bouncers. Some do it when they're extremely nervous or uncomfortable and all the things, right? I would do it. If I was in a situation where it was giving me anxiety, my leg is going to start. I have to stop myself. Like, wait, subconsciously, do you realize what you're doing? Right? Does everybody else see what you're doing? That was Jen. Boom, bouncy leg lady.
And then she was on the phone with somebody, I don't know, but then she made a comment that reporters were calling her, and I said, you don't need to speak to reporters, they're not your friends. You know, they're calling you for their benefit. And then she said, well, my daughter's missing, I gotta find my daughter. I said, there is plenty of publicity out there. All over the place.
Which right there, dude, that's weird because the child was missing at that point. And you're telling Jennifer not to talk to the media. Well, we know why, because she was out there being stupid, but we didn't care. We were like, let her talk anyway, because it's going to help us figure out if this lady's on the up and up. But he's over here saying, don't talk to the media. And she's like, well, my kid is missing. He's like, well, there's enough publicity. What?
When they went up to
That everybody's looking for her. You don't need to feed these reporters any other information because they're not your friends. But she was out of it. And then she was out of it until Stephen got back. They both went back to bed. I stayed in the room for maybe another half hour or so, and I said, well, I'm going to go down the lobby and wait for these detectives, which they never showed up. But as the day progressed, she came downstairs or I went upstairs and I went back downstairs and said, we got to get something to eat. So I took her to get something to eat, but she was still kind of hyped up at that time.
I don't know how she was.
But by the time, then she got a call, notified me that they were 10 minutes away and that they would meet her in the lobby. So everybody got their act together collectively.
Right.
And then they came downstairs. He was in much better condition, more alert, not so drugged. And she got progressively better. I didn't see them again until hours later because she was escorted, Stephen was escorted separately. And she called me and said, hey, come up to the conference, go inside, they'll give you a pass. And by the time I got up there, the whole thing was done. And then I'm calling her, where are you? What's going on? And she was in an interview room. She was waiting for somebody to talk to her. And of course, Stephen I never saw because they took him straight back. So whatever they were telling us at the lobby was just to comfort them and put them in the car where they were that a hassle and getting them down to the SO, but it was apparent that.
See, they had just taken Stefan into custody and were now talking to Jen.
They were going to arrest him.
Yes, but while she was still in an interview room.
Yes.
Did she text you?
Yeah, she texted me. Yeah, she told me she was in the interview room and she said, get Stefan a lawyer now.
What?
And I go, why? And then she texted me and said, they found photos of Stefan and that there were a lot of them and that they've been going on for 2 years.
Now, we all knew, well, a lot of us didn't know that. A lot of us knew that, some of us didn't. When Jen was confronted, when they took Stefan into custody, and she was confronted with what all was on his phone about her daughter, she calls up Stern's daddy and says, we better get him a lawyer. They found pictures, and there's a lot of them. Stefan needs a lawyer. That was her first thought. I'm going to need a lawyer because I'm about to commit murder. Would have been my first thought. But not Jennifer Soto's.
So she knew at that time, and then a few hours later she came out around 8 o'clock where they let her go to get something to eat. I found out the dog hadn't had water for 24 hours, so I went up to Publix to get a bowl of some water so he could have some water. And her demeanor was unbelievable. Like there was nothing in the world wrong.
Yeah.
And to me, that was odd because I really expected my throat to be cut. Any parent that found out their child has been going on for a long time.
Right,
why would you want to sit next to the father of this person? Why would you want to be in the same vicinity of this person? And I had to believe.
Give him a lawyer now unless you wanted him to be quiet and not reveal anything.
And told him to lawyer up. And I have to believe that her demeanor was similar to what the detectives were experiencing. I've already communicated this to Alex. That I said, there's something not right here. Because for 9 hours that I was with her up until I left her at midnight, it was business as usual.
Right.
Joking,
Not a care in the world.
Yeah.
He's not innocent. I cannot condone any of that. She is not innocent. He is a monster. But she is too.
So there's the two of them have colluded in this. I've got to believe it.
There's gotta be.
We don't doubt that at one bit,
But the bullshit lies that my son made. I mean, he called me at 4:54 and said, "Hey, there's been an occurrence." I said, "Well, that's a strange word, but okay." I'm on my way to the grandmother's house. That never made it to school. We think she's been abducted, and he gave me this whole story, and then all of a sudden he starts having this meltdown and breakdown or what have you.
Starts having this meltdown. How many times over his lifetime? When did those meltdowns start, sir? 6 years old? 4, 3, 2, 1, 9. That's like a cliche these days. They had a meltdown. Were we not teaching them tools to handle our anxieties and fears? Did we not talk about those as they come up? Let's sit down and have a talk about it.
But, I guess I'm finding out what kind of actor he can be.
So, do we think there's any way at around 6:30 he could have come here at all? Probably not.
Or even got to the garage.
Not without us knowing about it.
He doesn't have an access to the garage. He couldn't get in my car to use the remote because I had the only key.
And he couldn't get in the door, and he didn't have a key. I don't even have a key.
Yeah.
You got to know the owner.
Yeah.
I don't have a key.
I had this back door secured. That door is 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Seriously. And I had it locked up into secure.
And those dogs would have picked up on him at
Listen, if a roach
6:30.
farts outside, they hear it.
Yeah.
They can hear a rabbit that's in the yard, and I let them out, and they go, oh, and you see these stupid rabbit run.
Yeah.
It goes underneath.
Yeah, it becomes a, like kind of greyhound racing. It becomes a
Yeah, like a raceway back there.
Yeah, the back and forth. The rabbits going, how do I get out?
You know how they send the African boys off to kill a lion and show their manhood? I think the rabbits send them to go to the stern yard. If you could make one into the other.
You've passed the tribal.
Yeah, right.
One of
You are
us.
now a warrior.
And they
You
sit at
ninja
the
rabbit.
end of the sidewalk there, and they'll get blade of grass and they'll chew it and they'll look at the door and the dog's going, and they're going like, seriously.
Does he have like a bunch of maybe computers or phones?
Well,
and
I
stuff in his
told
room?
Alex. I said he has a desktop computer that's stuck out in the garage. I said you should probably come get that thing and do whatever forensic stuff that you need on it. But I put it out in the garage waiting for you guys.
Okay.
You want to take it? Take it.
Yeah, we'll take it off your hair.
We'll take all the evidence against your son we can get, and then y'all need to own what he did finally. And we agree with you that she should have been charged as well. I think the cops might even agree with that at some point. Guys, I'm not going to let that, continue to play out. We did drop the links into the chat there for Plunder's channel and links to these videos. She's got a ton of them. And we've went over a lot of the ones that have been released over the time throughout this case. These two parents are crazy to listen to. I mean, it even gets crazier than what we've just heard, especially when they were investigating and trying to figure out, who did this, where Maddie could have been. These two parents were just insane with the way they. I get why they would be concerned about Jennifer, but the way they tried to take up for their son each and every time, and the way they speak and carry themselves, right? Like they're so intelligent and these words, and we see Stefan using all these crazy words, and we're like, dude, you are a loser, right? You're a loser who can't even get a job shaking hands at Disney, but you come pop out here with your big words. Oh, we're so impressed. That kind of guy, and they're that kind of people, so crazy that, and you never know what you're going to hear when police stuff is released like that, with the body cams and the interviews and all the different things. There's a couple of channels out there that just released jail calls and things like that. I found one the other day, and that one case where it's a sad case where the young girl killed two of her friends in the car by slamming the car full force into a brick building. But her jail calls with her mother are off the charts. The level of narcissism in this little child, that's what she was at the time. She was just a minor. She might have been 18, but it's crazy, the level of I didn't do anything wrong, I can talk my way out of things, right, that people do. It's just shocking that people get like that. But so like I said at the beginning of the show, they were going to have that hearing today in Idaho, in Latah County, about the discovery coming out in the case. They've postponed that. What did I say? The 28th will be when that hearing is conducted. And phone calls from prison. That might be the channel. I just stumbled on it the other day, or well, a few weeks ago, Betsy, and began to listen into the Lindsay Shirillo, I think's her name. I was like, what in the world am I listening to? Entertaining, to say the least. If I get bored, I'm like, let me go listen to these crazy people. Yes, Mackenzie Shirilla. Dolphin, I'll link you later to the, and then if I do, I'll drop it into the community tab for you guys. But I'll link it to you, Dolphin. It's I know that Butterfly's heard a couple of them. But they're off the charts, man. That girl's insane. And you'll see the way that a parent responds to their child who did something allegedly wrong. You know, not my baby, not today. Yes, ma'am, and twice on Sunday. Wow. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to finish working on getting my content ready for tomorrow's show. I do got a couple of adult things to do around the house today because I like a clean, tidy home, and my world ain't right if it's not. And do me if that part of my world's not right first. So I'm going to go do that. Joe is getting ready to go live in just a few minutes. I'll have that on in the background listening and taking it all in while I'm doing my stuff here. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow, and we'll get right back into unpacking the Koberger documents and looking for our topic there. Dolphin says, I only saw the body cam of the police talking to her parents in the hospital. Yeah, I saw that. And it wasn't when they informed the parents that they killed the second kid. There is a lot to unpack with that case, actually, Dolphin. The different interviews that I've been watching over the past few weeks. When I get bored with the cases I'm covering, I'm like, let me go look at something else for a minute. And that's one of the ones I've been looking at when I stumbled across the jail calls. And I remembered the story and what had happened, but so it prompted me to go back and look at other stuff. So yeah. Yeah, it's one of those cases, but yes. All right, well, you guys, if y'all are looking for something to go watch, go check. I don't portal people over and all that. That's a lot of work. I feel like y'all know where the YouTube buttons are. Go find Joe Schmoe. I think we have the link to his show in the chat there for you guys to go over and take. He's having is he having Jack on today, and they're going to be analyzing that case that they were going to be talking about, because I don't even remember. And if you're all following that Adelson case, I think they pop off today. So maybe I'll go get opening statements, I think it is. So if that actually happens today, I'll kind of recap it tonight. Maybe we'll chat about it in the morning for those of you who are following that case. Yep. All right, guys. Well, y'all go over and check out Joe, and I'll be back here in the morning. And hopefully Dolphin can join me, and we can unpack the conversation about what was going on at WSU. Let's go find out.
Thank you all for watching.